guys, this is Shauna from Heritage Creations Cut Flowers, and I am doing sunflowers today. We're in zone 8A, and this is the week of Memorial Weekend, and I have lots of sunflowers, so that's what I'm doing today. So I have my stick, that's the length I want, that fits in my bucket properly, and it actually just goes right up underneath the top, the bloom of the sunflower, and I cut. There's a bug, and I get off any bugs. My sunflower to the length that I want it, and I put it over here in that stack. And so I'll go through all of these and just cut them the length that I want. And I have just found that this is the quickest way for me personally. I know a lot of people strip the leaves off in the field, but because we are really no-till, it's a little bit difficult for me to just strip all the leaves off in there, and then I have all those leaves over the soil. So I like to do it like this. All right, so after I've cut them to the length that I want, then what I do is I strip them and put them over back on the other side. Yeah. Sometimes I cut off this top one. Sometimes I cut off all the leaves, and sometimes I don't. And I cut when there's just one petal lifted. Now, some of them, of course, got way open before I was able to get to them. So some of them are looking like this, but I like to cut them when they're like this. Okay, then what I do next is I count out stems 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. I put all the heads together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they should all be, about the same height. Rubber band them. All right, the reason I'm doing this, one is I need my sunflowers to stay straight. So I rubber band them, and I take this up to the top so that I can hold them straight. Also, I have been selling a little bit more to florists, so then I can just pull out a bundle of 10, and also I can know how many I have. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have found this really works really well, knowing how many I have when I go to make my bouquets for the weekend. So I can decide how many bouquets I'm making, how many sunflowers are going in each bouquet, and it is just super helpful. If I have a really long stem, see, I'm gonna just cut that off. And I bunch them up. These are all Horizon, Pro Cut Horizon, but I threw a few of my Sunflower Steve in, and this is the first one. I can't wait to see this one open. So I'm super excited about that one. I've switched over. Everything I've been growing so far has been Pro Cut Horizon, which I love Horizon because I love the way it stays up in, its head stays up like this, and it looks great in the bouquet. The only thing I have, I'm testing out, which I've grown them before, the orange DMR downy, mildew resistant. Growing, that's my next, well, I'll just put those in the ground. For the fall, because for one, I want to see how they hold better. Horizon definitely, once they decide they open, they're going to just blow on open. And then even when you hold them in the refrigerator, they definitely still continue to open in the refrigerator. That's my cooler. And I want to see how the orange Pro-Cut DMR do as far as holding wise. Do they open quite as quickly as the Horizon or not? Let me tell you what, this Sunflower Steve one, that is a super strong stem, and I love even up here how it holds, but can't really grow a ton of those because the seeds are so expensive. So you're not really going to make your money on those, but I definitely just wanted to try a few because they're gorgeous. So that way, when I look at my buckets, I know that this morning I cut 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30. So this morning I cut 130. Upper garden, this is where I was cutting today, but really this first half I cut mostly for Mother's Day and for last weekend. And then down there I was cutting, and then over here I was cutting. So I'm checking out the status here to see if I have any good stems, which I definitely have a few that I can cut. This just self-seeded. These Cosmos just self-seeded from last year. I left them really more so for the pollinators. And then let's see. These are my first succession of zinnias, which I had to pinch a lot of these. White Swan marigolds just about to pop out. And then some Cosmos. And then these are the ballerina, Johnny's ballerina zinnias. And here is the first one. So we'll see how we like those. I am actually, I think, gonna cut this one. And then over here, I have Oklahoma salmon zinnias. So they're about ready, but obviously not for this weekend. And then over here, some celosia marigolds down there at the end. Another succession of zinnias and celosia and some more sunflowers. So that's pretty much it in upper garden. These are the only extras I got. Oh, over here I have more zinnias and sunflowers, still covered to keep the bunnies and the squirrels out of there. So not much extra other flowers from the upper garden for this weekend. But as you can see, I have a ton of feverfew to cut. My scabiosa is definitely coming in. I like to cut it either like this or like this. So I have a lot of that showing. So I can definitely cut that. A few sunflowers. Look at all this Cosmos. Some of them are tall enough. And some sunflowers. Look at my Godicia. It's terrible over there. Terrible. That row is terrible. So anyway, I won't be cutting that. But I do have a few more bellflowers and some inside already. And then I don't know if you can see over there, got Orlea. So I definitely have enough for this weekend without my Gadaisha. And it's really too early for me to cut the cosmos. I think for this weekend, it's only Tuesday. I like it to just keep on blooming, and I'll cut that kind of right before, because I like to cut it in this stage or when right here we've got color there. So I just kind of keep on letting it bloom out, and then I'll come probably, let me think. Yep, actually I'll probably do it tomorrow on Wednesday, because I do like to hydrate it, and I tend to make bouquets on Thursday. So I'll probably wait and cut tomorrow is what I'm gonna do with my Cosmo. Lots of feverfew. Okay, well, feverfew is easy. Most everything open because it will not open. All the rest of it will not open. So there we go. That's that. While I'm harvesting, hopefully I can do this and talk. So last weekend, Mother's Day weekend, was great. We sold out and I was super excited. And then last weekend we sold out, and I was even more excited because I did not think that after Mother's Day weekend, since everybody had flowers Mother's Day weekend, I did not think that we would sell out, and we did. And I cannot tell you how excited I was about that. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. I did take, there's a market that's about 35 minutes from us, and it's just kind of an up and coming thing at this little place. It's called the She Shed. I did take 8 bouquets there, and I think only 4 have sold there. I have to still go pick up my buckets. I haven't had time, but I'm just talking at here. All of them sold, and I had more than I normally have. Typically, if you follow me for any period of time, you know that on a regular basis, I usually sell about 12 to 15 at the shed on a weekend, and that is a Friday, Saturday. And so last weekend I had an abundance of flowers, and so I had 23 bouquets that I was gonna sell here at the shed. And so and we call it the shed Gully's Flower Shed. If you haven't seen any of our other videos, we have a donkey. His name is Gully, and a lot of people started saying they were going to Gully's, and so we just called our flower shed Gully's Flower Shed. So that's what we called it. Anyway, And so here at the shed, I actually sold out at 23. So I was super excited about that. I'm curious as to what's going to happen this weekend. I have another abundance of flowers. I have lots of sunflowers, as you see me cutting lots of sunflowers. And last year, Memorial Weekend was terrible. We were super slow. And I feel like that it's because a lot of people are traveling and, you know, they're going to the beach or whatever, and they're not going to stop by and get flowers and take them to the beach and that kind of thing. We did do a little thing last year, bird just went by, where we set up a table and you could come by and write down your, you know, if anyone that you know of at any point had passed, you know, a veteran, if you had anybody in the military that had died during service or not, for Memorial Day, to please write their name down. And then we had some free sunflowers that you could take, because I did put out, and I don't know if you guys know, but Memorial Day started out as decoration day, and so they would decorate with flowers the graves of the fallen soldiers. So I'm going to put that out again, and we're going to do that again, that you can stop by and pick up, you know, free sunflower and write their names down. And then we did put it out on our post with on actual Memorial Day, the names of people they had written down. We're gonna do that again, and I don't know, so it'll be super interesting to see what happens this weekend. I've tried to consistently post all, you know, ever since we started. I've tried to be consistent on Facebook and Instagram, and then over the winter tried to be consistent, and just all the things that everybody says you're supposed to do. And I'm hoping that, you know, the word's getting around, and we did have a sellout the first weekend that we opened, and then we had a sellout Mother's Day, and then we had a sellout this past weekend, and I'm hoping that that helps. I've heard a couple people say, you know, you have to get there because they sell out. So I would like for that word to get around, and then people would come, you know, early, thinking, oh, they're gonna sell out. So that would be fabulous. So we'll see. I don't know. Again, you never know how it's gonna go. We are still at the $20 price point on our bouquets. I try to be, this year I have been better. Last year I wasn't quite as good about really keeping, you know, the number of flowers that I put in the bouquet at, you know, the $20 price point. I think I overstuffed for sure. And this year I've definitely made a recipe before making my bouquets, which is super helpful. It makes it go a lot quicker, and counting stems and that kind of thing, and laying them out, and then knowing what I'm putting in the bouquet, and then that way knowing my price point and that kind of thing. So that being said, I do think they're worth $25, but we have a self-serve stand, so the $20 price point is a little bit easier in that you know, there's nobody there to give you $5. I mean, if it's 25 to do change and whatnot. And basically right now we are just cash, Venmo, or Zelle. So we don't have a square. If, you know, if we need one eventually, we definitely will get one, but we've been small, trying to keep costs down, and so we haven't gotten one. All right, now I'm on to my scabiosa. I cut them, I think I showed you already, but let me get one. When they're like that, and they will continue to open. When I strip them, pretty much just strip from there down. I do like to, if I have time, these little ones are not going to open. I just like to cut those off. And that's what I do with my scabiosa. These will, those secondary ones, they'll probably open. So I leave this on, but those probably will. Anything that I think will not open, I like to take off. Strip all that off. So they do take a little bit more time. I really like them. So I guess I'm willing to take the time on them. Last year, they grew a little bit better for me this year. I'm not sure why, meaning they're a little bit easier to harvest this year. Last year they were a little bit more unruly. This year they were a little bit more like this last year. But it just takes more cutting. So just trying to get ready for this weekend's bouquets, and again, it's Memorial Weekend, hoping that we sell more than we did last year, because last year, like I said, was really bad. But hopefully our name's gotten out more. Hopefully we have more people coming by. I'm contemplating, I don't know if this will be good or bad, I'm contemplating opening up on Thursday as well, just because I'm thinking if people are going out of town, maybe they want to come on Thursday, pick up some bouquets before they head out of town on Friday. I don't know. I might put it out on Facebook and see. So, I don't know. Just trying to figure out how to sell all these flowers, because I have a lot of flowers. And as I've been harvesting, all these different scenarios have been going through my head of how to sell all the flowers. So, keep you updated on that. Memorial Day has passed. It's the Tuesday after Memorial Day, and it's raining outside, or I'd be outside. I didn't get any video. I do have some video of the stand and whatnot, and I'll put that on the next slide. I have video of the table that we set up and all the things. So we did open on Thursday. So we were open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we did sell more than we sold last year, so that was a plus. We sold 13 bouquets at the stand. 3 on Thursday, 5 on Friday, and 5 on Saturday. So that was great. I'm really happy with that. But here is, I think it was on Wednesday, I got a message from a lady who has a big market really close to me, Stiegel Market. It's a produce market. And she wanted to purchase 12 bouquets for me, which that was the exciting part. She's just going to outright purchase them from me. And I sell mine for 20. She was going to purchase them for 15, and then she was just going to resell them for 20. Perfect. So she wanted to purchase 12. So I did a lot better than I did last year, because not only did I sell my 13 at the stand, I also sold 12 to her. So that was great. So I did that. I delivered those Thursday morning to her, and then we opened the stand. So I went ahead and made all of mine and all of hers all at once, opened the stand, and again, it was slow. 3 Thursday, 5 and 5. But I was super excited to get some bouquets to her. She had actually reached out when I first started. I didn't have enough flowers for her then, so I'm super happy that she reached out again, and I told her that if she needed more to let me know. And then she just reached out, I think it was Monday. On Memorial Day, she wanted to go ahead and put in an order for 14 to be delivered to her Wednesday or Thursday. So I told her I was going to go ahead and try to get those to her on Wednesday. So I'm going to get her 14 on Wednesday. And then I have a custom order for Wednesday as well. So I'll do that. Then I also do some work at White Barn where I used to sell my furniture. So I have that on Wednesday. So I can get those bouquets done today. Luckily, the rain held out. We were supposed to have rain yesterday. That held out. I was able to do my harvesting yesterday. Got those conditioned. Can get the bouquets made today. Deliver those tomorrow. And then on Thursday, I'll harvest and make the bouquets for our stand. So that worked out perfect. Guys, the stand is open today, Thursday, and we're going to be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday because it's Memorial Weekend, and we were figuring people might go out of town, so we're giving you an extra day. Stop by early. But really what I wanted to tell you about, if you were around last year, we're having the same thing. This is our Memorial Day part of the stand, and if you have anyone that you're honoring for Memorial Day, we want you to write their name down here. Take a few sunflowers to honor them, and we're going to do a post on Memorial Day where we're going to put out their names. So just please stop by here. You don't have to even buy anything from the stand or whatever. Just stop by, put their name, their branch, take some sunflowers to honor them. We would love to put their names out for Memorial Day.